Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown, and the Bobby Brown Show will be coming on soon. It's going to be a live show with guest appearances, the whole 9 yards. That's not what I'm here to talk about. Well, the debates are coming up soon. It's going to be the first debate is next week, I believe, next Thursday, and you're going to have a head-to-head between, I think, Biden and Bernie and Warren, Tulsi, and I think Marianne Williamson, something like that. But nobody's thinking about nobody else but Bernie and Biden. And they started to take shots at one another. Now, Biden has been kind of hiding. He don't want to make any appearances, especially town halls, because at town halls you ask questions and you get challenged. So he wants to only appear at events where he can control the situation. Elizabeth Warren don't only want to appear at Democrats' events as if there's only Democrats in the United States and all you need is Democrats to win. So we got so many people that are selected, yet Bernie Sanders is going wherever he can to talk to people. Now, let's talk about this because now the gloves are starting to come off and the debate has rarely happened, haven't even happened yet. But let's look at Joe Biden, Uncle Joe. Biden takes shot at Bernie Sanders. Go start a real physical revolution if you're talking about it. Now, this is Joe Biden trying to pop shots at Bernie Sanders, a person who knows nothing about revolution. But then again, Joe Biden do know about a revolution of putting people in jail in the droves and revving up the drug crisis and dumping drugs all over the United States in impoverished areas and black and brown areas, all to get the people so addicted and hooked up that the crime can go up and we can do a few things. Kill them, throw them in jail, or have them lose everything they got and we can come in and buy it up and take it over the land and rebuild it, gentrification to the highest degree. You thought somebody was stupid, Joe, like we don't know these things. That was all part of the plan to get black and brown people off valuable, prosperous land. And it worked to a certain extent because when the drug game was at its highest order, the Bronx, and I'm using Bronx for an example, I'm sure this happened all across the world, was devastated. Abandoned buildings being knocked down, new developments began to be popped up, and they were unaffordable. And people had to go put in legislation to make these places affordable. But let's take a look at this. All right, in 2020 Democratic presidential frontrunner, so they say. He's only the front runner when you're only calling Democrats within a certain age frame. But if you call everybody from every walk of life, Joe Biden will not be nowhere near the front runner. But you won't do that because you need to make it seem like Joe Biden is the front runner. You want to lie. You're worse than Mike Pompeo, who's lying about Iran. But let me keep going. He mocked Bernie Sanders for his rhetoric of a revolution at Washington, D.C., at a Washington, D.C. campaign event. In a rambling answering in which he appeared to advocate a middle way between helplessness and overthrowing the system. That right there is one of the reasons why he will not get a vote and he will not win.
Votes. Would you try to persuade? Doesn't mean you can do it all the time, but it kept us from going into depression. And so, folks, look, if you start off with the notion there's nothing you can do, well, why don't you all go home then, man? Or let's start a real physical revolution if you're talking about it. Because we have to be able to change what we're doing within our system because you talk about the creed. We the people, we hold these truths self-evident. We haven't always lived up to that standard, but we've never fully abandoned it. And the moment we abandon it, we lose everything we stand for nationally and internationally in terms of the power of our persuasion. The reason why the rest of the world follows us and we're secure is not because we have the largest military in the world. It's because we not only lead by the power, the example of our power, but the power of our example. And you can shame people to do things the right way.
We hold these truths. We all created equal. People don't follow us because of the example of our power, but it's the power of our example. Man, get out of here with that old bull crap, man. First of all, people don't follow the United States. I told you before, the number one threat to the United States, according to the World Human Forum, the number one threat to this world is United States foreign policy. So there's nobody following us. Sure, there's people coming here for an opportunity, but countries are not trying to be like us no more, Joe. They loathe what we stand for right now because we become bullies. Now, back in the day when our country focused on the opportunity and the betterment and the well-being of the people, people wanted to be like us. When the workforce was thriving, countries wanted to be like us. Now their workforce is thriving more than us. When our healthcare system was thriving, countries tried to be like us, but then they found a better way and they don't want to be like us, and we are trying to be more like them. So go ahead with this stuff, Joe. But let me keep reading this dumb, idiotic article about Joe Biden. Biden comments came in answer to a question from MSNBC. No joy whatsoever read about how he believed he could work with congressional Republicans should he win the White House. And see, you got to understand that is a problem. Because Joe Biden is really a Republican. He is not centered, he is not a left, and he is not a progressive. I don't care how many times he can say that out of his mouth. A progressive do not develop and build from scratch a crime bill that target black people. A progressive do not develop a bill that's going to take away Social Security and make it harder for you to get on welfare no matter whether you got a job or not. A progressive won't take your tax dollars and go out there and fund wars when we have not been attacked. So he is not a progressive, and he touts how he can work with Republicans, and he can, but it will not be in legislating things that's going to benefit the people. If it's anything, it's going to be legislation that's going to benefit the oligarch, the wealthy, the elite, and press down once again on poor and middle class people. What Joe Biden did with the crime bill as a top legislator back in the early 90s, he will magnify that as president. And he will do more harm to the black community as he did more than Bill Clinton did. Now, Bill Clinton did some good things for the economy, but black people going to jail left and right for some of the dumbest stuff. I go to jail because you got weed in your pocket? That's ridiculous. So Joe Biden is right. He will work well with the Republicans, but the problem, Joe, is we don't want to be working with extreme conservative people, and we don't want to be working with Democrats who want to be Republicans, who legislate like Republicans. We want to remove Democrats who legislate are like Republicans. We want to remove conservative. I say any Democrat. I want to get people in there that's going to legislate a policy to help working people. I don't care what party they're in. We want to remove those people. You talking about you want to work with them. We want to get rid of them because they're a hindrance, a huge roadblock to where this country need to go. Trump already saying we already did make America great. Now we got to say keep America great. Well, America is not great because America still have problem with health care. People still going into debt trying to stay healthy. People still going in debt trying to get an education. People still get locked up off a natural herb coming from the ground, not chemicals, or herb. Now, I don't smoke weed for nothing like that. I don't do the weed. Probably put a little CBC all on my knees, make all my ankles feel better or something like that. But no. So he wants to do that. Sanders 77, who's running second, as they say, in most Democratic primary polls, called last week, he's running second in most Democratic primary polls. But if you poll openly, you'll find out that he's beaten both Trump and Biden. Democratic primary poll, he called last week for a political revolution. His 2017 book, Bernie Sanders' Guide to a Political Revolution, made him a millionaire. What would they do? A couple $1 million, you're a millionaire. But you're not, anyway, let me get off that. They want to use these book sales to try to say he's out of touch with people now. Now, look, guys. You know me, I'm very critical of Bernie Sanders. I'm not going to be got like I got the last time, and I don't give him no leeway on him signing that crime bill. I hold him accountable, and I will always put in his face, he needs to stop using the Women Violence Against Women Act and gun law as an excuse for signing that horrible bill. People make horrible decisions, and stop making a lame excuse for it. And I'm always call them out for that and call them out to the carpet. I already told you I haven't picked any candidate yet. And if I was forced to pick a candidate, I got plenty of time. Right now, at this moment, I lean more toward Tulsi Gabbard than Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders had an opportunity to do a revolution, and he didn't. He allowed the Democratic Party to cheat him. He did not call him out, and he did not use that excuse to continue to go forward in a revolution. He surrendered himself and expected his supporters to surrender to the Democratic Party, and it ain't happening then, and it ain't happening now. So Joe Biden can take that crap, turn it sideways, because we're not buying your central politics. We don't care about how you work with Republicans. Matter of fact, that is a danger and threat to most people, especially in my community, the black community. You working with Republicans is a danger, because you're not going to work Republicans to go your way. You're going to work Republicans to go their way, because you're pretty much a Republican and you like people like Dick Cheney. And Mitch McConnell is your boy after he spit on reparations today. So I just do would never ever get my vote. Ever. Never, ever. And just because you were Obama VP, Obama was trying to do a extreme makeover by making you his VP. And you might be friends to the guy who's very articulate, very clean cut, clean. He's the first African American articulate, clean cut. Like he not like, dude, you insulted most African American brothers out here. Barack Obama wasn't the only one that was articulate and clean cut. That was a racist statement right there. Obama was good enough to bring you in and try to give you extreme makeover, but Obama, you can put lipstick on a pig and it's still going to be a pig. And Joe Biden is a pig. And he has pig policies, and he's legislated like a pig most of his life. He's Donald Trump with a pretty face and a pretty smile and a slicker way of getting stuff done. And me personally, as a black man, I would not insult my legacy. I would not insult myself. Vote for a man who took joy in locking them up. They're beyond repair. We got to get them off the streets so he'll attack my mother. Anyway, I'm done with this stuff. Dude, you cannot pop shots at anybody, Joe Biden. What you need to do is worry about you kissing on them old ladies. Yeah, I said it. You're getting a little too closer and passionate with old granny. That's what you need to worry about. I'm Robert Brown with the Raw Report. I'll let you later. Peace. Hey, thank you for watching that episode of the Raw Report. Before you go now, I need you to do two things for me. First thing, I want you to like the video if you liked it. Second thing, I want you to share it all across social media. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Stop and do it. As Jimmy Dore says sometimes, you think you're subscribed, or you go check and find out you're not subscribed. So make sure you check that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when I put a new content out. I'm not a fan of Super Chat, so if you plan on giving to the efforts of Bob TV, make sure you do that through Bob TV NYC at paypal.me. Anybody who want to have free access to my Patreon channel, I'm trying to save you money on your cable bill. I ran into a program that I think everybody need, everybody can afford, and everybody should have, and that link is down there below. 5,000 plus channel, best sports package, and the best premium TV and even international channels, and you can access this all over the world. Go ahead and check that out, get your free trial, and if you decide to support, become members of those two services, we'll go ahead and give you full access to the Patreon channel, and there's no cost to it. So my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Thank you for watching. I'll holler at you later. Peace.